Let's take another look at double boarding. This time we don't have a teleporter, so we'll be using our weapons instead. I remember doing this years ago, but only very rarely. I'd completely forgotten about it until Niazar mentioned the same idea more recently. As Niazar said, it seemed like a tactic that could be developed. I have now done that, and I'll explain it in this video. The main purpose of this tactic is to get crew kills when you are safe in a fight. This enemy cannot hurt us, but it's also very difficult to crew kill. With regular tactics, we could only kill one boarder, so they would still have 2 healthy crew left on their ship. It's still possible to get a crew kill, but you would need to get quite lucky with fires. So what we're going to do here is send this boarder back. I've given myself max level sensors, by the way, just to make things easier to demonstrate. You don't actually need them. We will look at doing this without them a bit later. But we can see this ship has a level 1 teleporter. In fact, it will always have a level 1 teleporter if it has the system at all. Medbay can be level 1 or level 2. And enemies will pull their crew back when they get below 25% health, and of course the teleporter has to be off cooldown for that to happen. So they're going to go heal, and now all we need to do is deal damage into the teleporter at an appropriate time. I'm going to use this blue burst laser 2 that I made. It's exactly the same as a normal burst laser 2, it just doesn't have any fire chance. Just to remove some randomness from what's going on. Because you can get crew kills generally more easily with fires, but we can't rely on them. So the main thing you need to do is make sure that you don't damage the teleporter too early, which might mean they fix it before it comes off cooldown. But also you need to damage it before they can actually board. So I'm going to fire about now, and ideally I want to hit them with only 1 shot, just to save on hull. Okay, that pulls the engine's crew. And then this crew is going to go join them because they want to board, or possibly because their task priority is considered so low at the moment. I'm not entirely sure exactly what is going on with the AI, but I can see the patterns. So now they are both in the room repairing. That's why you don't want to hit it too early, by the way, because they repair this in 6.25 seconds now. And we're just going to await them in our medbay. Because I want to kill them as quickly as possible. By the way, the reason that happens is simply that as soon as they have a valid boarder, they will board. And it seems they don't have time to reassign the other crew to another task. The boarding check must happen first, which means both of those crew are still assigned to that tile when the teleporter activates. Alright, so now 2 of their crew are dead. We've only done 1 hull damage so far, and we have 1 healthy crew left. I'm gonna go into a bit of a tangent here, which is talking about crew kills more generally and how you would deal with this kind of situation. It's obviously a lot better than having only 1 crew than having 2 crew, but it's still not exactly an easy crew kill. So there are a few different ways you could go about this crew kill. One thing you could do, which people often do, is target O2 and just try to drain the ship of oxygen. The problem is that's not really going to work unless you get lucky with fires, because they just repair it too fast. But we can try. Let's just take a look at the different ways. So I'll open with 2 shots. Hoping it's level 1. Okay, it's level 2. That does help me in some ways because they'll stay in this room. Meaning that at least my shots are more likely to land. And you can kind of see that we're not going to get there unless we get fires. And probably multiple fires. So if we were able to do 3 more hull damage to them, they would die. But the problem is they'll run to the med bay first. And they'll also run to the med bay as soon as they've finished repairing this, so we can't just let up and let them repair it, or they'll go heal themselves. And now the next point of damage we do, they're going to run to the med bay. What we could do here is kill them within Artemis. Let's have another go at that O2 kill. See what happens if we get some fires maybe. Okay, double fire. Now this is one area where being able to kill off 2 of the crew instead of 1 can really be an advantage in crew kills, because it's so much harder for this 1 human to cope with 2 fires. And they will eventually get them out unless they spread really fast, but it's costing them time and health to do so. They'll have to go heal at some point. It's draining air from the med bay. If they put out the fires faster, because there were 2 of them, then it wouldn't drain as much. Sorry, air from the oxygen room. It wouldn't drain the air as much. And they put them out at 32. It'll always be that, actually, unless they respread. And again, we could actually potentially kill them by just dumping lasers and Artemises on top of them. Or, you know, lasers and then Artemis to the medbay. Let's see if we can save an Artemis. This one, by the way, is level 1 oxygen. And this time I should time their repairs quite carefully, because I want to get my shots in before they get to piloting. They're not going to go to the medbay next. Okay, they're starting up there. Each animation is a second. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, they are going to go to the medbay though. 11, 12. So I could fire now, actually, I think. Oh, and they still dodged. I think we spend an Artemis now. Yeah, that's a crew kill. They are in a level 1 medbay because their health is not changing. Okay. Here's another way you could get a crew kill in the same situation. We have 9 hull again. And this is the way I would favor, because it doesn't rely on needing fires, and there's a chance that you won't need to spend a missile. And it doesn't rely on, say, piloting or oxygen being level 2 or anything like that. So I'm going to use my blue burst laser again. Fire 2 shots. And the point of this is, because we have that extra hull point, because we had 9 hull points to work with, I can spend a shot just drawing them into a system of my choice, which is shields because, well, partly because it's a large room, but mostly because I know it has multiple system levels for sure. I mean, you could do the same thing with weapons actually, but shields is further away from the med bay in case I need to snipe them. And then we just keep shooting at them. Two more shots will take them down to 30, so 3 takes them down to 25, right? Yeah, so we can fire 3 shots. And now, if they had any fire damage, by the way, then they might run, because fire does fractional or floating point damage. But they are exactly 25 health, and they will not run to the medbay until they drop below it. So that means we can just shoot them. Also notice that we can fire all the shots because this is a medbay. It instantly wins the fight, and the last shot will just miss. So I quite like that method of crew kill because it lets me kill very reliably without needing fires and potentially without even spending a missile. We would not be able to do it that way if they had 1 less hull point. Something you might be thinking about here is, well, what do you do with different levels of teleporter or like high level med bays and they heal up really fast? Doesn't that undermine this tactic? Well, not really. Outside of like really specific circumstances, it doesn't really matter. You just need to time your damage, and the main thing that you need to do is work out what level teleporter they are using. So I'm just going to go through a few here with Mantis Fighter. Teleport level 1, and let's say, you know, we've already seen a low level medbay with a level 1 teleporter. Let's look at maximum level medbay. They won't have this in sector 1 or 2, by the way. It would only be sector 3 onwards. So they have a replacement NG crew. The NG is not going to want to board us on the first boarding, right? So this Mantis is going to come instead. And I'm going to be abusing my overspec sensors again, just to keep the video humming along nicely and not having to think too much. So we see it is indeed a level 1 teleporter and level 3 medbay. Oi, come back. Okay. And of course that means that the Mantis is going to finish healing before the teleporter is off cooldown. That's fine. Let's see, I want to use my blue burst laser, don't I? All we need to do is not damage it so early that they repair it, bearing in mind it is going to be the NG who comes, but make sure we damage it before it comes off cooldown. Do I want to fire 3 shots though? I think I do. Okay. So here comes the NG. I'm going to do the same thing. Come into our medbay. Oh, whoops. I was a bit enthusiastic there. Wow, I'm playing this badly. But we're okay. So now we have a Mantis fighter with how much? 9 hull and a solo Mantis on the ship. The NG we could have got to board without that, by the way, but having 1 Mantis rather than 2 is quite good, because it means that they won't be able to get back to piloting to repair so easily. So this is a very solid crew kill. Alright, this time I'm going to use the regular burst laser too, because fires are fine. It's a very different situation because it's a Mantis, and their repair speed is halved. So they have lots of hull to play with here. And their evasion is going to be garbage. I'm just speed hacking it along a bit as well. Patience is a virtue. And we didn't need that fire. It's just like the nail in the coffin. And now they just can't repair O2. Okay. By the way, they didn't run to the medbay at the end because they won't do that if there is a damaged system. If the ship becomes airless and there aren't any damaged systems, then they will just go into the medbay. Same ship, but this time it has a level 3 teleporter and also a level 3 medbay. In this case is not a problem, this is fine. Because their Mantis is going to be healed in time. And we can damage the teleporter now. Oh, one thing we have to think about, of course, is we can't take this one offline, right? We don't have enough shots unless we use the Artemis. So we want to time it such that they will both get in the room, or we want to use an Artemis. I'm going to hit them now. Okay. And we got them both to board, so it's the same situation. This time we have what is probably the hardest combination, which is teleporter level 3 and medbay level 1. So the problem with this is that the teleporter is going to be ready before this Mantis is ready. That makes life tricky. So they're just not going to be ready in time. What can we do about this one? Well, the simplest thing to do is just let the NG board, because they're going to do that. And we still have a pretty good crew kill with just 2 Mantis left. But we could try to do a bit better. I'm going to try to hit it just as the NG is about to move. Because that will pull the pilot, and then we get both of them. So that's probably the most tricky one. Again, with this ship, you get the NG anyway. Now, one thing you might very reasonably say is, it's all very well doing that when you have maxed out sensors, but you're never going to have that in a real game. How the hell are you going to manage this without that information? Well, you can do it. You just need to be more precise. So, Mantis Fighter, this is how I've been selecting them, by the way. I have a menu. Random levels is going to give me a random teleporter 1 to 3 and a random medbay 1 to 3. So I don't know which ship, as it were, this is going to give me. And the first thing we need to do is time the teleporter. Now, there's various ways you could time this. You could time it with crew movement, I'm going to use the ion stunner that they have over here to help me. I just need to know what level it is. Now let's see where this mantis is. Okay, they were on that tile, so go, and it doesn't really make that much difference, but they go on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's going to be a bit less than 3 seconds for a mantis. 2 to 3 seconds. Let's call it 2. Probably close to 3. So the ion stunner is firing around 6 or 7 seconds after the teleporter was used. Oh, one thing that might be worth doing sometimes is not beating them up more than you need to. Because they'll heal quick in the medbay and that could be useful. I'll actually put you up here. Okay, they teleported back before the ion stunner could fire for a second time, but it is nearly ready to fire. That means it must be a level 2 teleporter. The ion stunner is firing at 20 seconds, but it had a 2 or 3 second head start on the teleporter, meaning its second firing will be at around about 17 or 18 seconds. So it's not a level 3 teleporter, but it is a level 2. And now I want to start a timer to keep track of this teleporter. I'll use this healthy crew here. 1, 2, 3. We can start with that. And then down here is another 9 tiles, so that will be 12. I want to look and see what this medbay is like. That's quite fast. I feel like that's a level 2 medbay. So this was 12. Oh, I need to watch out for getting stunned in the shield room as well. 15 seconds will be a bit more than 30 tiles. Another 9 gives us 19. They have now healed. So when do we want to damage this? It's level 2, so we want to pull the NG before it comes off cooldown, right? Because we might just land one shot. So what did I say? 3, 12. That is another 9, which is 21. That's about 10 seconds. We've got about 5 left. Which means we should be able to fire now. We use a laser that doesn't start fires. So the teleporter is still available. It's not off cooldown, but it's not destroyed. The NG gets in the room before it comes off cooldown, but not in time to repair it and fuck off out the room instead of boarding. There we go. That is how you can time it when you don't know what the system levels are in advance. With Rebel Invader here, the situation is quite different because they have a clone bay. Now, in Sector 1, they're going to have 10 hull. And what people would normally do is let them board twice, send them back, so you have these 2 crew almost dead, this crew is fully healthy. And if you add up the numbers, you'll work out that you need to shoot this crew 7 times. If this is level 2 piloting, and maybe if it's level 1 actually, because you can use an Artemis, but if it's level 2 piloting, you can easily catch this crew in the room together with them because they'll go help repair. So 7 shots can kill these 2 crew. Then you need 1 shot to take off a level 1 clone bay, and then 1 shot to kill the crew who comes repair it. And that is 9 hull, that's all of the hull. So there's no hull left if this is a level 2 clone bay. And it should be a 50% chance that it's a level 2 clone bay. Now of course you could get lucky with fires, but I'm going to show you a different technique, which is a lot more precise. And what we're going to do is try to make this crew become the new pilot when they return to their ship. I'm going to vent my whole ship, apart from this airlock, because I want them to go stand in it. Okay, we can beat them up a little bit. We're going to do that anyway. Get out. Okay. Now we need to get them almost ready to go back. Okay. And I'm going to want to man my weapons to give myself a little bit more margin on this timing. So I will watch the ship to see when it gets air back. Enemy crew will avoid rooms that are below 10% O2, but suffocation happens at 5%. So the number up here says 11%. I guess I should keep it between about 11 and 15. We'll send someone into weapons. And I'm going to use this blue burst laser too, just to simplify things. Of course, if you get fires on a ship with a clone bay, that's another way of getting a crew kill. Okay, first I'm going to target shields, and I will try to hit it with 2 shots. If I land both shots, then it means that I have a chance to miss against engines, which I will target next. Okay, so that pulls the engines crew. They now have 2 repairs that they need to do. Oops, I let the oxygen get a bit high. And now I want to start moving into this room, I guess. Fire a single shot from the burst laser. That's because I need the timings to be right. I need this crew to go back when both these crew are occupied with repairs, but they need to finish their repairs, both of them, before the teleporter comes off cooldown. I'm keeping this crew moving because I don't want them to send the enemy back right now. Okay. This crew is now going to go repair engines. We vent them and we punch them as well. Go back immediately. I'll just keep it simple and man the sensors, but really the timing for this is basically just when this crew finishes repairs. So you see, they've become the new pilot. We will take 2 hits to kill them, but they are quite low on health. This one is going to finish repairs first, right? And then this one. And now we shoot the teleporter. Okay. They're going to board us. And shoot the clone bay. So we did 2 damage to the clone bay. We'll take off even level 2 clone bay. And now probably the sensible thing to do is to send an Artemis in there, I think, because if we miss with one of our shots, then we're going to have them down to 2 hull, and they'll repair the clone bay too quickly. Oh, actually, It was a level 2 clone bay. So we'll get a second chance to fire our laser while they're repairing the second system level. Okay, like that. Oh, come on, FTL. I am so fucked off with you now. Okay, point taken, FTL. 40% evasion without a pilot is completely reasonable. So if you have missiles that you can spare, probably makes sense to open with an Artemis here, as that just ends the fight. You don't have to worry about any more misses. Alright, got there in the end. Okay, I think I'm going to wrap it up there. I'm sorry this video went on for so long. I'm afraid it's quite complex, at least to me. I will make the mod available in case anyone wants to practice with it. In theory, it shouldn't be that complicated, but in practice, I found it really necessary to just play with this stuff and try to get a feel for it and observe what was happening. So it helped me. Maybe I'm just dumb, but it helped me. I still feel there are things about what the AI is doing here that I do not fully understand. I have a better grasp on what their priorities are now, but I don't think I fully understand it. So I'd definitely be interested in what other people have to say about this. And yeah, hope you found that useful.